Hey, hello everybody. I'm here today with Claudio, which is you to me. Hello, Claudio.
Hello, Sister Karen. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. As I said just before we came on, my mum's having her knee operation tomorrow, so I'm a little bit worried about her. Yeah,
I'm just
'cause
going to visualize that she gets up and walks out of there, no problems.
yeah, they obviously won't let her go from the hospital until she's okay. But there's no, my dad isn't there anymore. And I couldn't
Right.
take time off work. So she's so desperate to have it done because her knee's crumbling.
Oh,
But yeah, so I love my mum and hope everything goes well tomorrow. I'm speaking to her tomorrow evening. But anyway, we'll see tomorrow. The other one I said is I still feel a bit low about Mickey. I just miss him so much. But there's
I bet
nothing
you do.
anybody can say about that either.
No.
Anyway, what have you been up to, Claudio?
Man, just studying the Egyptian walls and just sharing experiences, doing my ISIS in the Bible on Wednesdays, working on law. Yeah, all good stuff.
Yeah, I'm just showing people some of the videos which is out on your channel. Well, they're very colourful anyway.
Yeah, I like to make, that's AI is so great at making images.
Yeah, it has its good parts, but it's mostly bad, isn't it? Because they use it to play games with us.
Uh, they don't play games with me, and I use it for beautiful things. So
That's good.
I think it's absolutely wonderful.
I just put a video out on the channel. I was looking at Simon Cowell and I thought, I know who you are. It's George Michael. I put the pictures on top and some of them, they're so alike.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
that's wild, isn't it?
I mean, someone in the comments said, always look at their ears, but I myself am not so interested in that. To me, it's the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. The rest they add. They can do it all with CGI and everything. The
Right.
most important thing is just the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Yeah.
Hmm.
But anyway, they look very alike and they shouldn't. And even if they're not each other, why do they look alike?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, the games they
It's
play.
wild.
It is. It's all wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
I mean,
But
have you ever heard of Prince Richard before?
nope.
He ends up being he's in the family. He'd be in the Queen's bit, and he was not this Queen, Queen Elizabeth. He was her first cousin. So, but I was looking at him and I thought, I know who you look like. And you put his picture with Charles. He looks just like Charles. He can't look just like him. They've got the same mouths, the same lines down their mouths. Anyway, that one's waiting to go out as well for everyone. Prince Richard. I just saw him on something because I was looking up something and it was Charles II, and he only had one illegitimate son, and they made him a duke. And I was looking up dukes, and it just brought up all the dukes. So Edward's a duke, Harry's a duke, Andrew's a duke. Obviously, William was a duke, but he's probably got a different title now because he's next in line. And then comes
In line for
Prince
what?
Richard, and I thought, who the hell is Prince Richard? I've never heard of him before. But he's the Queen's first cousin, so he's part of the family. He's 20-something in line for the throne, but he's called a prince.
Well, my dad is a king. My mother is a queen. And that makes me and my brothers princes then, because they're just human beings like the rest of us. So I don't know
Yes,
why we give
I
them
know.
titles.
It's part of the game, isn't it? And the Romans and everything. But
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
So what? So on your channel, what's one of the things that you've been concentrating on lately?
Well, the last video we made was on the Nag Hammadi. That was a text that was written um, in like 331 AD, and it's a text that's been mistranslated, like most of the texts, right? And it's supposed to be written in the first language outside of the Egyptian walls in Coptic, and they misinterpreted the foundational words. And Ken Wheeler teaches those words very well. So if you miss those foundations, then you can't interpret the whole rest of the book. So just doing things like that. And then there is supposed to be the Gospel of Mary, and that's another interesting discussion all in itself, because like divine love. Oh yeah, just
Yes, you're into that one, aren't you?
what's
Love,
wrong?
love, 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 aren't you?
Hey, it changes my whole world, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yes, love, love, love you, Claudio.
I love you, Karen.
Yeah. Well, we'll put on a video and we'll start talking because we've said hello to each other now and to the channel. So 1 second, everybody. Right, well, we're here with Claudio, and this video is ISIS in the Bible, replay spring week 5. It's Nag, what is it? Hammadi.
Yep, Nag Hammadi. Yep.
Do you want to explain a little bit about that then?
Yeah, the Nag Hammadi is it's a text. It's a text was discovered in 1945.
Right.
And they were written in Coptic in the 3rd and 4th century AD. And it talks about gospels, prayers, apocalypses, and philosophical treatises. So it's basically all about Gnosticism, esoteric knowledge, and path to spiritual enlightenment. But it all depends on who's interpreted it. So there's a whole bunch of different people that interpret it. And when they don't interpret it properly, it kind of goes down a literal path of one man or one being like they do, right?
So what's your interpretation of it all then, Claudio?
Well, Marion from our group, she found a brother, John Lash, I believe it is, Larsh or Lash, and I got his book now, and he's done a great job interpreting it, which just means we're, like we've always been saying, we're infinite, and we're tethered to pure love, and we're on this beautiful cycle, and we're upon that cycle now. And
Which
they wrote
is the
about
complete
people leaving the
opposite.
visible back then.
That's the complete opposite of what the system has for us.
Yeah, well, we were all just falling asleep, so the system is us. We're just wearing what we all said for the last 100 lives or whatever. But it's beautiful because we now have the revelation that we're on that same cycle again. But I would like to mention June 16th though, because June 16th is quite the alignment. A lot of people are going to get a very interesting Kundalini cleanse, depending on people's chart, of course. Some people will get invigorated. Some people will get absolutely dizzy. Some people will, really feel a cleanse. So it's starting to happen to people. That date is my brother's birthday, and he's already feeling dizzy because he's got quite the alignments lining up with his chart.
Oh, wow, the girl I work for is the 16th, and I'm the 14th.
You're the 14th? Oh, wow, cool. Happy birthday, happy pre-birthday.
No, thank you, it's Friday.
Yeah, Friday, my daughter's coming from Florida, so it's awesome, with my grandson and her husband.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, have you not seen him for a while?
It's been a few months.
Oh, so it'd be a nice visit then, won't it?
Absolutely. Got all kinds of little baby toads for him out in the backyard.
And full of lots of love then, Claudio.
Absolutely.
Do you sort of turn back into a dad, or are you a bit different as a grandpa?
Do I what?
Do you sort of go back to being a dad with him, or do you treat him differently because your daughter's there? I don't know. Some people.
I treat him like I would treat anybody else. He's my grandson, so I'd treat him with respect, because one thing I did learn over the last 10 years is that they give us messages, and he's very good at it because I'm paying attention. All kids are good at it. They all give us messages. We think when they're doing a temper tantrum or whatever that something's wrong with them. No, they're trying to tell us something, and we can't understand the sign they're giving us. So it's very unique. I've asked him to call me just by thinking about him. He's down in Florida while I'm here in Canada, and he gets his mom to tell me, "Hey, call Nono."
What's your name?
I just did it the other day.
What's your name?
I just did it the other day too with him. Yeah, he hears me.
What's your name? You said call. You call, and you said a name. You call you, but you called
No. Nonno's grandfather in Italian.
Oh, I see.
Right. So he told his mom, call Nonno.
Oh,
And
I think for
I just
boys.
did it yesterday with him, and I was telling my nephew about him and that experience, and I was about to say it again, and I didn't, to my nephew. But I said it inside. I said, Reno, call me. Next thing you know, my daughter texts me and says, hey, Reno's trying to get a hold of you because he now has an iPad. He's going to be 6 in July, and he's got an iPad, and he's got his own iCloud account, so now he can get a hold of me.
Oh, well,
So when
that's
I said
good.
that to him again, so the ability to communicate back and forth is rising big time. I just had 2 sisters send each other an image with their minds. They told each other that they would. They then called each other and said, what did you receive? And they both saw each other's images. Think about that.
Oh,
No more phones. Right, they were able to do that.
a bit
So what's happening?
telepathically, you mean?
Telepathically, it's upon us.
I think with little boys like dads and grandpas and the male influence around them.
He loves Kathy around him too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he
He loves
does,
his
but they
grandmother and he
like the
loves his
male
nana,
side as well, boys. Yeah. You're showing dates at the moment.
Dates, let's see.
Yeah, you've gone past the
every
16.
550. Yeah, every 558 is Phoenix Rising. So you can see I highlighted the 349. That's when the Nag Hammadi was written. Of course they wrote it. They wrote it during a Phoenix Rising year. That era, like we're all doing now, everybody's writing a book on their experiences. That's what we do when we're upon a Phoenix Rising. So back then they did the same thing. A lot of people left the visible day, so the only thing they could say is it must have been a war. No, it wasn't. People's leaving the visible because they're not understanding how to go through with their cleanse. They're not understanding that they must resort to love. They don't understand that everything is karmic. And so they leave the visible, they come back. It's all good.
Yes, I must admit, this whole thing with Mickey, I could probably get quite angry about things. I'm trying to come through this because I still really love him, and nothing's changed. We didn't break up, did we? So that love hasn't been killed. And
no,
I want
it's
to
impossible.
come out of
There's
this.
no such thing as love. You cannot kill love. Love is pure. Love is.
I know. What I'm saying is,
if
we'd ended, it would have been different. But we didn't end like that. He died. So I want to come out of this full of Mickey's love, if you understand what I mean, sort of.
I totally understand it, and he's always there. He's not gone.
But it's hard sometimes because I miss him so much.
The physical's gone.
Yeah, I miss him so much.
I bet you do.
You know, he was a little bright light. He was a lovely man. And he loved me.
Uh-huh. Sure did.
But
and I don't think you can use the word loved. He loves you, not loved.
Oh, I don't really want to talk very much about this because we are on a hangout, but I spoke to his brother the other day, and his eldest sister is very unwell. She's got cancer from the bottom of her spine to the top, so I can't imagine her prognosis is very good, to be honest.
Or wishing her lots of healing, loving energy.
Yes. She's the one that took the air fryer. It's a bit strange. When Mickey died, she asked me if I wanted
the air
it.
Fryer.
She asked me if I wanted anything, and he just died in my house. It was not the most important thing to me, but I did sort of say, well, I'd like that little picture of him, and I'll take the air fryer back. And she took the air fryer. And then when she was giving it back to me, because I got in touch with her, she said, well, if that's all you've got to worry about. I mean, maybe she was already having tests, but she didn't come to the funeral. She went on a cruise. But anyway, she's the eldest one, so I think the family are a bit upset because obviously Mickey was the youngest one, and obviously the prognosis is probably not very good for her. But anyway, everybody seems to have problems, don't they, one way or another?
Everybody's cleansing. It's time. Yep.
Oh, we've got plague versus cleanse. So what's that one then? 1343 AD versus cleanse.
Let me try to.
The plague
13,
and the cleanse.
Oh, okay, yeah, I added that slide in there. Yeah, that's so it's the exact same alignment with Eris at 0 degree Pisces.
Oh yeah, that's up on the screen right now. Yep.
So they talked about in 349, 330, whatever. Back then there was a war that killed everybody. It wasn't a war, it was a cleanse. And then in 1348 or whatever that date is, they called it a plague. It wasn't a plague, it was a cleanse. And we're upon one now.
Yeah, do you think that's what...
They're going to call it COVID. It was a virus.
Yeah, is that what lockdown was about?
It's not. The truth is out. The truth is out. There's no such thing as a virus. And I'm showing you all the proof of Mary, Isis, Eris, McTuckle, whatever you want to call her, when she is on a cusp of a zodiac sign, we cleanse. Mama's home. Pure love.
Well, we've never learned everything, and we should be growing and learning all the time. Otherwise, you die inside, basically. So we're always learning and doing these things, I suppose, aren't we? Nothing stays the same, does it?
It's a cycle. 26,000 years. We'll be back at this exact same moment 26,000 years from now.
A lot of people say this is a good time to be here. It
won't look exactly the same, no.
Do you think this is a good time to be here right now for all this?
Oh, absolutely. Like the synchronicities are on fire. The animals are talking like crazy. The signs they're giving is absolutely incredible. If people aren't seeing it, they need to stop and look because it's there. They're communicating. It's just us stuck in our future mind and our past mind and not in the present moment to see the guidance that they're providing.
But they don't really want us in the present, do they? They want us fearful of the past and frightened of the future, and then you can't be in the present. Because you're always worrying about the past and the future, but we are virtual reality. We're here and now. That's it. That's all we've got is here and now.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. You're showing, so what's that? Yeah, Cancer and Leo, all the signs are in one thing. You were just showing us then. Or you're just going through the numbers. Cancer, right. 27, 28, 03, 09. Oh, that was 1859. What's that got to do with it, Claudio?
I'm trying to remember what that was.
Transits, natal, week 5. You're talking about June the 16th, but you're showing in your diagrams 1800s, 1859, whatever it was.
Okay, yeah. For some reason, it's not.
So basically, it's a bit like everything that's on this sort of wheel. It's sort of like when it's clicking into place, all these things happen, isn't it?
Yes.
In your wheel.
Yes. Everything that happens to us is in our astrology chart. Everything. It's our crystal ball. Actually, just the Salvator Mundi, the famous painting by Leonardo da Vinci, holds a crystal ball. You can see some stars on it, and he's pointing to the sky. And all the different greats, I don't want to call them greats, but all the different people who are well known have self-portraits of them holding something and or pointing to the sky. Your story is in the stars. Everybody's story is. It's beautiful.
They're obviously a lot more important than people realise, but they want you looking down at your phone, don't you, rather than looking at the sky. I look at the sky all the time.
Yep.
But they don't want us looking at that. They just want us looking at a bit of plastic, don't they, or a screen. It's quite incredible when, in the past, they used the stars to travel and all sorts of things that we don't really use anything like that anymore.
Well, a lot of people are. And people are going to do it more and more because you can see a lot of people are looking to the stars now.
I suppose those people are all waking up, Claudio.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but so
and everybody will.
when did you like wake up then? Is it like just before 2016 or was it before that bit for you?
The biggest part was probably 10 years ago.
So 2014 was for you?
Yeah, roughly around that.
Yeah. Well, it could have been 2015, but it just turned into 2016 because I'd just done 9/11 and I'd spent years on that. And then I thought, what's this flat earth thing? Oh, no, I'm not looking at that. I haven't got time to go through all that as well. But a couple of weeks later I did. And it changed everything.
Yep.
As
Amazing,
it does.
isn't it?
And in that journey, we found each other, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. It's all part of it. So that means we were in previous lives together.
I mean, obviously, you're talking about the Nag Hammadi here, but you've done a lot about law and things, haven't we? We've done hangouts about it.
Mm-hmm.
So all that's in here as well, isn't it, really? I mean, in your workings.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. We're on week 5. Oh, that's the name of the video, isn't it? You're still talking. Yeah, because obviously I remember when you found that, right for you, when you found the what do you call it, the disc with everything on it. Do you remember we did a hangout about it when you started including that in all your work?
Yeah, the universal key.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all tied together. The zodiac, the stars, the land, it maps the land, all of it. It's all mapped together. It's all one. So it's absolutely beautiful. Can't be any other way.
No, but ours, even though you said it's a great time to be here, a lot of our society is quite selfish and arrogant, isn't it, really? Narcissistical as well, unfortunately. But that's kind of what they obviously bred us, that's what they wanted us to be like.
Yeah, I really started losing the they.
Well, they is the Romans. I call them the Romans.
They, which is us.
Well, no, we're better. Well, we're not. No, we're not them.
We were.
Well, we might be, but in this life, we're not.
But that's what I'm saying. So that we are the cause of our own. Hence why we're the cause of our next experience.
That's the other thing is,
right?
We don't take responsibility enough for ourselves anymore, do we? Not really. It's always someone else's fault, etc. Oh, they did that to me. We're a bit like that. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're a bit like that, though, aren't we, Claudio? No one wants to take responsibility for themselves and thinks, or maybe that was my fault. No, it's their fault.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is that we don't realize that whatever we're experiencing is because of us, because we left that wave behind, and karma comes back to remind us of what we were like. And that's the revelation we're upon. It's the last rabbit hole anyone has to go down.
I suppose it's what people think's enjoyment in their life, isn't it? Because you enjoy doing this, but it doesn't mean everybody else does. They can't wait to watch their CSI or whatever it is program. They'd rather watch that than, because that's I always say to you, the greatest thing that you can do for mankind is learn who you are as a person, because when you don't know who you are, you make different decisions. I don't know if I want that. I might turn up there. I couldn't be bothered to go. All that. You're like that. You switch from this to that. When you know who you are, you don't keep doing that. You know what you want. Your views don't keep changing. You say yes and you mean it, or no and you mean it. And that's because you know who you are. When you don't know who you are, I don't know. A long time ago, I learnt who I was. It was quite a big soul search, probably in my late 20s. It's because life wasn't working for me and I didn't have answers for things. And then suddenly this video started playing backwards in my mind, and I could go back to then, and instead of seeing things the way that people told me they were, I saw them as me, and it was just all different. But I feel that I'm not worried about who I am as a person anymore. I know who I am, and I'm not afraid of myself. You've kind of got to get to that stage, haven't you?
Well, the only thing we should ever lack bravery in is the misunderstanding that it's only us individually. The only thing that I ever experience is because of me, not because of anybody else.
Or you draw certain things into your life, don't you?
Well, because if your actions today is what you're going to experience tomorrow. And next life, that's what's on the Egyptian walls.
But you've got to enjoy yourself in this life as well. We're not slaves, are we? We're little gods. We're free. No matter what they do, we're still free. In our minds. You know, what you think. It can't control everything. I mean, they are doing some quite nasty things. I put this video out the other day, Claudio, where this guy was explaining that they're just harping most of America for 13 hours a day. And it's hitting the cell towers and so forth. And you're like, wow, no wonder so many people aren't feeling very good. Because that's not far above your heads when they're doing all that. And they're using pinks and blues. And on the spectrum, that is heavy X-ray. I mean, that cannot be good for us, can it? It's bad enough if they're microwaving us, but on top of that, it's heavy X-ray. How can that be good for anybody?
So, when the only thing that ever affects you is your own vibration. Nobody else can do anything to you. I've proven it over and over again in people's charts. So, if you start believing that they can affect you, then you're going down a path that you shouldn't, because only you.
But it's unseen stuff you don't see happening to you, which can affect people's illnesses or make people more ill, I think. But it's another probably way of controlling us as well. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously a lot of people are waking up these days. And they don't want that either, do they? They just want you watching the television and believing everything that's going on there, which most of that's a lie.
Yeah, again, it's...
But I suppose that's once you start going to the journey to yourself, you start looking for different information like you have. You don't need to worry about yourself anymore, and you started studying other stuff.
Well, I'm working on my next self. I'm working on the self. I'm connecting my body with myself, the true self. And the only way to do that is with love and understanding that I am the pebble thrower that throws the pebble in the pond and makes the wave that comes back to find me. And nobody else can do anything, so I can stay in that state of mind, because if somebody comes up to me and does something, I can just ask them for forgiveness, because it's my wave. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Making your world what you want it to be.
Right, but now it has to line with love. It has to, or else you leave the visible.
Yeah, I suppose we forget that one a lot, don't we? You know, even my kids, I have to try and remember. It's not that I don't love them, I do, but you've got to show that you love them.
Yep. Yeah, and you can talk to them from the heart while you're lying in bed trying to fall asleep. You can still talk to them; they'll hear you. Their heart feels you. It works.
And also, I think, like with children, like you say, I had my grandchildren weekend, not last weekend, the weekend before. When I go round to their houses, they're always on their iPads or the television. They're like little zombies. But they came without iPads, and everything was an adventure. Even the baby park, you know, the infant play park down the road. That was even, all exciting and everything. But they were so
Nice.
energetic. And then when they came back, they
Yeah.
were jumping all over my sofas. And then, when they went, I thought, I'm knackered. Got so much energy. But children, obviously, as they get older, it probably starts happening. But when they're little, like your grandson, they don't lie. They don't know what lying is yet, so they only tell the truth, if you know what I mean.
Well, here's the thing. If a child starts to lie, then they're not telling the truth, then they're giving a message to the parents
I think,
on what they need to change.
you know, my way I was brought up, they're my children and you're doing as you're told, but when you wake up, you realise they're not really yours. You're looking after them and you've got to love them. And in the end, your children don't want you to, oh, look, you haven't done your hair, let me do your shoelace up. They want you to be more friends. You're still the mum and the dad and whatever, but they want more friendship from you, don't they?
Well, yeah, they just want to they want to live in the world with their mother, right? And yeah, more like a friend, of course. See, the thing is that we got to realize that we painted a world for them to come in. They carry our good and not good karma, so we have to, whatever we don't finish cleansing, it becomes onto them. And we're going to be popping out one of the wombs of our grandkids. So it's important that we understand that whole process. That's what's on the Egyptian walls. We're infinite. So we should all be working on the next life we're going to be coming out.
Yeah, don't worry
That's
so much
annoying.
about, when you know who you are, then don't worry about this one. Think about the next one.
Yeah, well, it's like a labyrinth. We know we're going to be coming back out again, out through another womb. When you close your eyes and you go to sleep and 8 hours passes by, or 6 hours, or 4 hours, I'm not getting much sleep anymore, but you close your eyes and then you wake up, it's like 10 seconds went by and you find out that, wow, it just went by that quick. Well, same thing when we leave the visible. For Mickey, it'll be 10 seconds and he'll be coming out another womb.
So he won't be with me then,
Get it?
will he?
Of course he will.
Well, not if he's somebody else's baby.
Look at, you will meet him again.
Yeah, it could be.
Trust me.
It could be eons though. You don't know, do you?
Well, it can be next life. It could be this life. When your kids could have a kid, and there could be Mickey. It's all beautiful. Because love is love. Desires is desires. They're not the same.
I read it in a book once, Claudia. I never really thought about this yet. Thought about it until I saw it in a book. So we made we are the result of how those people felt about each other, how much they loved each other or didn't. Do you see what I mean? We are the end result of that action. So we are what they were at that moment. That's where we come from. That's when we were conceived.
But at the same time, you were you from a previous life and are coming back in with your action behind. So it's not just them, because they carry your actions as much as you were carrying theirs.
Why is it that we don't remember much of that past life though?
But we're reminded every day of the past life. Our experiences are our past lives. Just look at the memories in the water from Dr. Emoto. All of our memories are left in the waters. That's the Akashic record. Like I said, it's the last rabbit hole.
Yes, well, I wish Mickey had not departed from this life, and he won't be Mickey again, and next time he could be a girl. Or do you believe that if you're a man in this life, you come back as a man in your next life? Is that what you think?
Nope.
No.
I don't think that at all. I think just like I know people who have had not good experiences in this life being a woman, being not treated well from a man. So that means in a previous life, they were the man that treated the woman not good. So what's going to happen? They're going to come back and they're going to get to feel exactly what they left behind. So it's really important we clean up all those old karmic waves and energies and ask them for forgiveness. Do the Ho'oponopono, but you got to ask for forgiveness first. And then we got to repaint those. I don't live anymore. That's what's meant to be a god. We're all gods. We're all in manifest. We all create waves. We're all creators. Because the pure love, which is, and by all definition, the divine feminine, which is stillness, which is pure love, doesn't make waves. So Psalm 82:6 says, I said, ye are all gods. And I showed some of our meetings, the G-O-D is the 609. And if you watch Ken Wheeler, he shows you the 609 or the G-O-D under the Pharaoh cell. You have one spiral going out and the other one on the other side, and it looks a 6 and a 9. And then the hole in the middle being the black hole is the O. So there's your God. There's the face of God. Every atom has that manifest, 609 or G0D. So that's where God is everywhere. But God stems from the circle, the all, the whole, the womb, the woman. So we're tethered. The masculine is tethered to the feminine, which is pure love.
Yes, I suppose lots of people don't even talk about those words very much. And you're saying pure love.
Pure love. You can't make love. That's sex. That's desire. And immaculate conceptions are 100% real. Insects, reptiles, birds, the buzzard. That's why the buzzard is on the Egyptian and the Egyptian heads. They got the cobra coming out of the forehead, and they have the vulture. Excuse me. The vultures are they're all female. There's no male vultures. How is that possible? Well, while they're up there gliding, they can do an immaculate conception with the ether, with love.
Sorry, just looking at your video, you've got Catholic, so Catholic.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain?
Right. If I'm a cat-holic, if I really like alcoholic, you know, if I'm a cat-holic, does that make me a Catholic? So is it?
Well, I saw it this way. I saw religion as religion, and religion's the Romans. And it's Holy Roman Catholic anyway. I think that's one of the... I mean, I know that you and me get on really well, but there are a few things we might be a little bit different on. But then around you, I think I must remember not to say anything negative.
Well, you shouldn't do it around anybody.
No, I know, but you know what I mean, because you'll tell me off, Claudio.
No, I wouldn't.
But what it was is I worked out that to make all the other churches, they just changed where you got your sin from. But I think all the other churches still baptise the people with the Trinity. And when you look it up, a Protestant is a protesting Catholic, which means... Oh, it's just finished. Hang on a second. The video's finished. Hang on. Yeah, so basically... I just shut the door because my daughter and her boyfriend are laughing. A Protestant is a protesting Catholic. And when you look at how a Protestant is baptised, it's still with the Trinity. So what it was is he was called a creator, and he was in this sort of church up the road from Mickey. They said it was a Protestant church, but I think it was an Anglican church. And when you actually look that up, it says it's Catholic. And that's what Charles is in. So Charles is not a Protestant king, even though that's still Catholic. He's an Anglican king, which is Roman Catholic. But basically, there's only one religion, Catholic. every other religion
No,
is a spur from that one.
to me, there's only one truth.
When I said it to this person from the church, I think he's called a creator, not a vicar. He said, "Yeah, you got that right." And then when we looked up Mickey's church, it said, well, it says we are, or it might even say it there, we are whatever church it is, but we're doing it in a new, modern Catholic way. That's what it says. Even though it's not supposed to be a Catholic church. So there is only one religion, Catholic. Carry on. Carry on, Claudio.
I guess that's somebody else. That's opinion, right?
Well, that's he was
a
creator, and he believed what I said, and I worked it all out myself.
That there's one creator?
Well, there's just no in what we're in. They you think that you've got, say, Methodist, evangelical, say, Lutheranism. There's loads of them. Anglican, Catholic, but there isn't. There's just one. Oh, hang on, my daughter just wants something. There you go. There's just one religion, really. It's Catholic. Oh, there you go. There's just one religion, basically. Even though they're called all those other names, and everybody thinks they're different religions, they're not. They're still just just versions. So there's just one church, and everybody thinks they've got a choice of a religion, but they don't. It's all Catholic.
Yeah, it's when you look at all the different Bibles that are out there, no matter what culture, they all have the same misunderstanding of what the truth is.
And then when you think of religion, and it's Catholic and it's Roman, there you go. It's all Roman.
Yeah, we as individuals have the right to choose our path, and most of the time it's been chosen for us, and we just follow along with it. But now we have this revelation upon us, this beautiful, loving flood that's upon us. We get to now think for ourselves and come back to the truth. Is that the whole point of when the Bible, it says that God says that we are made in his image because we're gods? Yeah, he didn't make, there's no he that made us. You manifest in the 609. You manifest in Fibonacci spiral, golden ratio spirals of perfection. That's a 6 and a 9 as it comes out both sides of the field, as Ken Wheeler teaches. That's the face of God. So when you look at under the Pharaoh cell, you'll see the face of God. You'll see an owl's face. You flip it over, you'll see both. You'll see one side spiraling in. You flip it over, it's the other way. One's going clockwise, one's going counterclockwise. So if you do a G0D, when you make those, it's the same thing as a 6, 0, and 9. I'm not sure if you can visualize what I'm saying, but it's in the videos that I post. It's really brilliant. So yes, God is everywhere because that's manifest is everywhere. And the way an atom manifests, the way an egg manifests, the way a womb manifests, it's all the face of God, G-O-D, which is 609, both sides of a field. So it wants to manifest in perfection, and the reason why we can't manifest with perfection, it would be because our waters are muddy from the actions we've done in the past, this life and previous.
Do you do much
so we become exactly who we portrayed to be as far as our actions. Do you do much about like your magnetic field in your videos? Yeah, everything is. Because we are electric, and everything's electric, but we have this magnetic field around us. I mean, I think that's what they're trying. If they can do something to that, they can harm you. That's what I think. No, they can't. Only your chart and you can harm you, and nobody else. You got to get over that. If they're heavy X-raying you from the sky and the clouds aren't very far away, you might not get a choice in that. No, but you only get dis-ease or be in
right,
a
injury.
Yes,
I understand that. Yeah.
When it's in your chart. Yeah, I understand what you're saying on that one. Dis-ease is the disease. Everything else is what you're focusing your attention on. You don't want to focus on that unless it's loving. Because if you have lack of bravery, you have all those thoughts, then your kids and your grandkids will feel that. You're passing that vibration on to them.
Hmm. Yes, I get what you're saying there, Claudio.
Yeah. They feel if we can talk to each other like I'm doing my grandson, and the two girls that live here in Windsor are sending images to each other, we're connected.
I think you get on quite well with him anyway, so you'll probably always be connected to him, won't you? Really, for that reason, he loves you.
Yeah, well, he's obviously been my grandfather in the
Well,
past.
you looked after him, didn't you, for a while, didn't you?
I'm sorry?
You looked after him for a while, didn't you?
Well, we stayed closer to them when we were down in Florida.
Are you happy back in Canada?
I'm happy no matter where I'm at. It's just who you miss while you're away.
Yeah, that's what I mean. In a way, you'd rather be in Florida.
Well, but I got family and friends here too, so it's a bittersweet, right?
Always. In that sense, when my mum gets her knee done, I went to see a house up the road, and she actually likes it, and she's made an appointment for about 3 weeks' time after this operation, and it will be quite nice having my mum living closer to me, because she's always lived miles away from me.
Awesome.
That bit I'm looking forward to, even though she's a cranky old thing sometimes.
Well, don't picture her that way.
She's so stubborn. My kids have worked her out. So my son says, what you have to do is, you have to tell her something that she's probably not going to like, and she's going to go, oh, preposterous, and all that, and then you leave it for a few days, and then you ask her again, and then she's thought about it, and then she'll go, okay then. She changes her mind to how she reacts to it. But they say my sons have worked out how to talk to her.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It will be nice because apart from my son in Australia, we live here. So there's Ellie, Sam and Tom and grandchildren here. There's just Harry in Australia. So it'd be really nice, wouldn't it, with my mum being close?
Absolutely.
She's bossy though, Claudio. She's much bossier than me.
Ask her for forgiveness.
Oh gosh, I remember that. I did do that for a while, you know. I suppose it did change things, but my son said, no, you changed things, Mum, because I didn't, with Mickey, I don't think she knew how to deal with it, and she just didn't speak to me, but she just wasn't there for me. I was so upset. And then I didn't talk to her for a while because I just couldn't handle it, because I wasn't like that with her, with my dad. And then my son said that was the best thing you could have done, because she's gone away and thought about it and realises how much she needs you. So now we're getting on great.
So keep doing it.
Yeah, but I was just, anyway, I didn't talk to her for about 5 months after Mickey died. I just couldn't, because I thought you just weren't there for me at all. And still, you know, she'll always well, mine's worse than yours because I was married to him for 60 years. It didn't matter that I'd lost my dad and my partner. I don't know. I'm not into all that myself. It's not, well, I'm better than you and all that. I can't be bothered with all that.
Right.
But anyway, we're getting on really well now, and she's going to come and live down here, so I suppose it's all good. At 87, awesome. She's acting more like she's a teenager, to be honest.
Perfect.
Yeah. But I'm glad, because obviously, you know, I struggled over the years with them, but, you know, now I've hopefully got a few years with my mum, and it's all going to be good. You know, if she likes this house, it can go through quite quickly. She'd be here by September sort of thing. But anyway, she's got to sort of pack all her house up, and, well, a lot of it, my dad spent all these years, Claudio, getting his little empire together. And, you know, buying all this stuff, and it probably cost a lot of money then. And now antiques the bottom's petered out on them, and now my mum's getting rid of it all. Oh.
Yeah, it's just stuff. Can't take it with you.
No, you can't. No. How's your weather, by the way?
Oh, it's beautiful today. but it's cool. And it's 72.
Yeah, it's cooled down a little bit here. It's not cold. It's still very pleasant for us. I mean, I remember once, listen, I was walking in the Hungerfield with my kids. It was probably April time, and they had shorts on. And there was an American, and she went, "Oh my God, those kids, they've got shorts on." To her, it was cold, but to us, it was pleasant. You know, when you're used to somewhere a lot hotter, England's, you know, but it's pleasant. But it should be warmer now. It says 13 degrees. It's probably in the 70s then, or 60s, 70s, late 60s. The other one, you do. What are we? We're Fahrenheit. You're Celsius. We've got up on the screen.
Yeah, we're Celsius, but I usually look at Fahrenheit.
So you know that one,
we're a border city with Detroit, so.
It says on the screen at the moment, Mary the Jewess. So what's that bit about then, Claudio?
Mary the Jewess?
Yeah, in the video.
Oh, let me think of that. That was in a book that somebody wrote about. And it was the...
Oh, so you're looking up a bit more like you're looking up at the pictures like a toroidal field. Yeah, toroidal field you've got up there. You just showed a toroidal field.
Right.
Mm.
It's another somebody that they wrote about. She was very much into alchemy, but she's not into the physical alchemy. Everybody's chasing the physical. It's the spiritual alchemy that she was into. If you look at the images that they have her drawn with, but everybody tries to do the physical alchemy, turn lead to gold. No, it's you that's got to turn to gold. You have to turn to pure love. That's the pure alchemy. Your whole body, all the chemical reactions in your body will change all on its own, and that's all you got to do is be loving. Then the rest just happens. Your body heals.
Yeah, I think I'd put it. You're more at peace with things. That's because you're not, you know, when you don't know who you are, you're fighting everything. Or when you're unhappy with this, unhappy with that. But when you're more happy in yourself, you're at peace. Inside yourself.
But you have to realize that which is bringing you out of peace is because of you.
Oh, well, I suppose there's all the lessons, isn't there? There's the lessons to keep having.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we'll be doing, unity of all elements, transformation and purification, balance, harmony, the hidden source, philosophical alchemy. That's what's on the screen right now.
Yeah, they're talking about that would be the sacred alchemy. It was one of the different people that wrote about alchemy. The author that I'm talking about in there goes into the metaphysical alchemy, not the physical one, and that's the one you learn and you understand.
Because you're right, I've got some books up there. A few of them are self-help books, and they're great. But you can't get... Right, I've got the book out. Page 6, verse 2. Oh, there's the answer. You can't... Even the good books are good to read. You've got to be able to act on it all at the time.
Yeah.
I like one up there that's really nice. It's out of a book called Until Today. And do you want me to read it to you? You might really like this, Claudio. Shall I read it to you?
Sure.
You'll love this. Let me just get the book. Where are you? Where are you? There it is. This page now is not stuck to the book. You know, the page has come out because I've looked at it so much. Here it is. You'll love this. So basically, you bought the book, right? So it says, for the price of the book, you're about to receive a master's degree in spirituality. And what you're about to learn will carry you through any situation life brings your way. Once you have managed today's lesson, you will have everything you need to realize everything that you are. Your divinity, your nobility, your presence in life is a gift to humanity, and all will be evident. People will want to know you. They will want to be just like you. The lesson may seem simple, But to truly master it might take a lifetime. And take all the time you need. A master knows that rushing leads to nowhere. Ready for your lesson? Your key to freedom? Joy, peace? Do you want to hear what it is? Says, know yourself, see yourself, accept yourself, and be yourself. No matter what you may be faced with in life, know yourself. No matter what someone may do to you or against you, see yourself. No matter how many times you try and fail or fail to try, accept yourself. No matter whose company you're in, or what they have the ability to give or take away, be yourself. And if for some reason you're tempted to believe that you cannot develop mastery of these lessons, you might want to try this one. Trust yourself. Trust that you really can do it. Trust that yourself will provide you with all the tutoring you need. Trust your life is a classroom that will continue to provide you with the opportunities you need to master all the lessons. Trust you cannot fail this course. And until today, you may have believed you had to take a class or a course to discover the tools of spiritual mastery. Just for today, work with the tools you have. Know yourself as a divine being. See yourself as connected to God. Accept yourself, even if you don't do well on today's lesson. And be yourself, a loving and compassionate being. Yes, that's just one of the days in the book.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of truth.
Her name is Yolanda Venn. Another one that I really like this book. That life's like a house. You've got all the different floors, and in the house you've got a basement. And she said, basically, most people are in the basement. Well, what's it like down there? It's dark, cold, dingy. No one can see anything. No one knows where they're going. Everybody's bumping into each other, and no one knows where to go. So as you go up the floors of life, by the time you get to the attic, you're in unconditional love. I thought that was quite a good one as well. But those are the days when, you know, you were looking for things, but I'm not looking anymore. But anyway, that was a good book as well. But I don't seem to... I've lent it to someone and never got it back. Because it's true. Most people are in the basement of life. They don't know where they're going, what they're doing, what to do. And as you start going up the floors of life, so the next floor, you might know what the problems are, even if you haven't sorted them out. But you're on that journey. You're on the next floor. And the next one, you're starting to sort your journey out, or yourself out. So it was a bit like that. But I like that book. That was years ago I read that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I just think people don't realise what everything is, to be honest. Or what's more important.
Yeah.
And I think also as well, we've lost a little bit of it, because we probably used to all sit round the table and eat. We don't do that anymore. We all just sit in front of the television with our plastic meals watching the television instead. Not us. I'm not talking about us, Claudia. I'm just talking generally.
Yeah.
In this journey, what's the most... Well, you talking love, but what's the most frustrating thing you found about people, you know, like when they're waking up, or you're hoping they're waking up, or you're trying to talk to people? What's the most frustrating thing you find? People don't see the truth or something?
The most frustrating thing for me is me not having patience and respect.
Oh, yeah, but you see, you're over there, aren't you? And you've learnt so much. It is probably frustrating when you realise most of the world hasn't. We're on baby steps.
No, it's like I said, it's all about the self. You just said it over and over again from that book. So there's no one to be frustrated about except for me. That's what becomes frustrating, is when I step out and my ego gets a hold of me, and I think that it's somebody else doing something, but in reality it's just me. So that's the frustrating part, is when I don't stay in that self-centered position that I want to be in.
Well,
that's what's frustrating to me.
Even if we've got a few little differences, but they don't matter because we're still good friends and we love each other. I admire you for that part, that you always stick on that bit. It's about love. It's about connection, love, and etc. And all the videos you make. I appreciate that, Claudio.
Thank you.
Because, you know, over the years, people change their minds about loads of things and, you know, whatever. But you never change your mind. You stick on the same things.
Yeah, I just got I can be confident in that because it all shows up in a chart.
Also, Monique can't wait to watch this. She loves watching you and listening to you, Claudio.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, my channel likes you, Claudio.
Oh, I like you and your channel.
My work's a little bit different to yours, though, isn't it? But I do have people like you on, so you are part of my channel and what you say.
Yep.
And every so many months we have a hangout together.
Which is always awesome.
Oh, Claudio. We've done some good hangouts. Like I said, we did ones a few years ago with David about law. Those I found, like, you were so informative on that. The dots, the capitals, all that. I really enjoyed that hangout when we did that.
Yep.
We weren't live on that one, were we? Yeah, we used to do them live as well. God knows how we used to do them. I used to sit there for 3 hours at a go, live. I mean, obviously...
Still trying to catch up again with David. Still trying to catch up with him.
Yeah, I think what it is he's bought a house and he's moved on. He still does the group, but he's just a little bit different now.
Yeah,
maybe. I haven't managed to connect with him either, but maybe his girlfriend gave him a bit of an ultimatum. I don't know. I haven't spoken to him. All I know is a few years ago he moved. I think he was getting his own home. You know, buying a house.
Yeah, I know he was doing something with a
but
house.
Again, he had lots of information, didn't he? He was all about making to a trust. They can't touch it then.
Right. Yeah, and I learned quite a bit from David, and we both kind of went on our own way, and we seem to be meeting in the middle, which is beautiful.
Yeah, because this thing we're in, it's a bit like a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. You're one of the pieces, he's one of the pieces. People are just pieces of this puzzle. We can only do it together because we're not all the same person. I mean, you spend a lot of time making your videos and doing all your stuff, don't you?
Say that again?
You spend a lot of time making your videos and talking about what you talk about.
Yeah, I study every day. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, you've got a picture of Kate Middleton up now. What were you saying about her?
Oh, I was doing her chart.
Yeah. Well, the rumor is
she had an experience. She's just a normal Joe Schmo like the rest of us. We're all equally as important. We're all the same, and I don't believe in titles. And she's cleansing, and like every one of us, we have to pay attention to the signs.
Yes, well, or she could have left William.
Yeah, I try not to get into any of that drama. That's her life, it's her karma.
My son says that's what they are. The royal family are a drama show, he says.
Well, yeah, if the only idol you should have is yourself.
And anyway, because obviously, you might have even said this in our hangouts, but monarchy means government. A king and a parliament make the monarchy.
But they're not governments, they're corporations.
Well, they are now.
They're net entities.
Yes.
No, they always have been. No, they always have been. It was the East India Company, and then the East India Company got caught doing all the shenanigans, and then they called themselves a monarchy, and they just established a whole bunch of corporations, and They made money, but now it's time that it's going to stop because the Piscean age is over and Babylon falls. Babylon falls every 558 years.
Do you
This
know
one,
what
it's
I'd
going
like
to
to
fall,
do,
but it's not.
Claudio? I'd like to stick all these people on the rockets, loads of rockets, and send them off to the moon.
But you can't wish that on them because they're your brothers and sisters.
Well, those ones are a bit different when they have basically caused treason for many years and how they've dealt with this. You've not given them permission to do all this harping, but once you voted for them, they've got the permission. That's what people don't realise. Well, yes, I just want the lot to go, but we haven't got anything in its place at the moment, so... But I hope it happens in my lifetime, that something happens, a big mistake that people cannot deny or not see. Please. Please. Yes. Because they're taking it like you're saying, well, we should be talking about love and that. These ones aren't into love. They're just into controlling us. We're like in an
They're the
open-air
prodigal
boot
son.
camp.
They're materialists. They're materialists. And they too are being flooded by the metaphysical flood of love. And they're the prodigal son. And we have to understand that we are one. And we were their great, 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 great grandmother or grandfather. So ask them for forgiveness. I do. I ask them for forgiveness for not being the loving man, and I should have taught them the right way. But that's the Piscean age. We lose our way. And now it's coming back. So now it's time for, it's showtime. Everyone must submit to love. It's showtime. The act is over. The reality is here. And all corporations fall. The stock market falls. Trading falls. And we go back to sharing the land. Right now, the human beings produce everything. No corporations produce anything. Our labor produces everything, and we're going to go back to sharing everything. Everything that's on the shelves, everything that's in the dealer's lots, everything belongs to us. They're holding it. It's going to let go now. All corporations will crumble. All banks, insurance companies, all that stuff's going to crumble, and we will continue to share the lands like we're doing today. In a drop of a dime, a drop of a penny, I don't even like using money, a drop of a feather, everything changes. So people got to be ready, because we're going to be sharing the land. And people are going to do what they love to do. And people are going to be educated from the time they first step foot into a system where they get supported on what they love to do. A child is going to be not brought up to be taxpayers. They're going to be brought up to be coached on what they love to do. And then the classrooms will be so much easier.
Well, I don't think they've got anything to be proud of, because all they've done is left acres and acres and acres of abandoned things. Castles, buildings, hospitals, schools, houses.
Then Mother Nature will take them down.
Or is that what the people are going to claim back?
Ruins everywhere.
Is that what we claim back, is all the abandoned stuff?
The abandoned stuff is because we're just not good at being with Mother Nature.
I just think it's incredible. A lot of Americans don't realise, or even us, we're just living in an abandoned place. Well, most of it's abandoned.
Like I said, all that's coming to an end. We're going to be sharing the lands. It's already happening. All the systems are in place where we can walk in. You can take groceries, scan them. You don't have to pay for them. And the scanning portion will be just to tell the other country or anybody else around the world that you need more of it. Necessities will be always available, and the desires for things are going to start dropping. They're all going to start dropping. We don't need all this stuff.
We're too materialistic nowadays. I mean, you can have
Yeah.
both. You don't have to live. You can have both of them. You can spiritual and material, but it's only concentrating on, well, I'm better than you because I've got a BMW. It doesn't matter. Those things are irrelevant, really.
Yeah, it's 100% irrelevant.
It is when it comes to it.
Mm-hmm.
I just realised the video has moved on to Medusa. We're on Medusa now. I didn't see it click over. But that's okay. You're showing Bob Marley at the moment. Wings left so soon. Yeah.
That's where Kate Middleton was in that movie, yeah.
Yeah, this was the 22nd of May.
I show you when Bob Marley leaves the visible.
Yeah, well, we're playing
when you
the
leave
video.
the visible, it's in your chart. But it's up to you when you go. There's all kinds of time. I could have left the visible 3 times that I know of that are very significant. I could have left the visible, but I chose to stay.
I think we can turn ourselves off. I think that's what elderly people do. They stop eating. They turn themselves off.
Yeah, it's like the elephant knows when to walk away. It's time for him to leave the visible, but he'll be back, or she. And
also, you know, when you said about the animals are going a bit mad at the moment, when I put on YouTube, maybe it's what I focused on.
No, they're not going mad. I didn't say they're going mad. I said they're freaking giving huge signs.
That's I don't mean mad, making a lot of noise, but when I watch YouTube, nearly every animal that they come across is a pet. A bear, a wolf, a fox, a hedgehog. You name it, they all turn into pets. Mind you, I've got 3 cats. I'm their slave, and a dog. I'm their slave. It's not their pets. I'm their slave. You know, I feed them, pick up their poos, whatever. It's me who's the slave. But I do love them very much. Anyway, but yeah, all animals turn into pets. Kangaroos, you name it. They'll find a little abandoned thing and bring it up, and even birds, you know, they've got to release them, and then the birds always come back and bring their family. I think we've so misunderstood animals, because it seems that we just like the picture on here with all the animals. That's how we should be with all the animals.
Right, so after Revelation comes Genesis. So Revelation 12:1 happened in the sky April 15th, 2023. So after Revelation is now Genesis. So Genesis is Mother Nature takes domain. The wolf sleeps with the lamb. Everybody becomes plant-based eaters because they realize that all the animals are their guides.
I love it when you see a cat snuggled up with a dog. I mean, often, you know, some dogs will go for cats, but I love it when I see, you know, suddenly they'll move the dog and underneath the dog is the cat. I love that. I love it because animals, well, they're lovely. I love animals. Yeah, every time a fly comes near me, Claudio, I always think, oh, well, I wonder what the meaning for that. I'm going to get a message.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fly usually means you are worth way more than you can imagine.
Yeah, we go, get away, you dirty old fly.
Right.
Yeah. So we've been going for an hour and 13 minutes. We can carry on for a bit longer, but I just want to ask you, what's your next subject going to be on then, Claudio, in your videos?
I'm going to be talking about the Kundalini, mostly because a lot of people are going to be experiencing it on June 16th. So it's just going to talk about what the Kundalini means and how Hygeia, the goddess of cleanses, that luminary in the sky, how she does this Kundalini effect. And it's beautiful. It's the natural alchemy. Your body wants to go through a natural alchemical process, which is just using love, which is what they call in physics a dielectricity. And it's all from the ether. So that whole process is a beautiful process, but when you don't understand it, you run to the hospital. So many people, they reach out and they say, hey, I know it's in my chart, but just tell me that it's in my chart because I'm really feeling it. And I let them know when it goes away, and it goes away.
Do you do lots of birth charts still?
Yep.
Do you still do cannabis oil, Claudio?
Absolutely.
Do you make a lot of it then for people? Are you making a lot of it? I mean,
That's slowed down a lot because people can get access to their own. But there's still some people that come and get it. Yeah. Yeah, it's very healing, especially for burns.
You know, at the moment you've got Medusa up. You know that's a set of stars, and I think it's the first stars that come up at night is Medusa.
Yeah, well, that changes every day, but right now it could be.
I thought she was one of the first set of stars that came up.
You talk about sun before sunrise?
As the stars come up at night, I thought well, maybe I'm not right, but I thought the stars, Medusa, was one of the first stars that come up at night.
It depends what time of the year, right?
Or I suppose wherever you are in this plateau place.
Well, no, we all see the same star and sun rising per se, right? Because it's only 1 degree different every day. But the seasons, right? They call that the duat when you can't see the constellations behind the sun, right? But the sun is right now. The sun is going through Taurus and will be going into Gemini. So any constellations that you can't see Orion right now, you can't see Taurus, you can't see Gemini because the sun's in the way.
Right. You've also mentioned Lilith on here as well. A lot of people don't even know who she is. So she was Adam's first wife, wasn't she?
Right. Lilith is the temptress. Lilith represents the snakes. Lilith is Medusa. Lilith is Sekhmet on the Egyptian walls.
She was
Lilith
the one.
is the cat. When you have a cat, your cat is Lilith.
In the Bible, she's the one that stays in the Garden of Eden.
Well, do you see the snakes on Medusa's head? Of course. She's the snake tempted Eve, right? That's Lilith. When somebody gets tempted sexually, Lilith is strong in their chart at that moment.
Right.
It's clear as day.
And you're looking at the way of the, oh my goodness, the
Psychonaut?
Yeah, Psychonaut.
It's Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci painted that image where you see the Immaculate Conception, because what he did was the cloth of the lady there. I'm not sure what portion you can see right now.
Yeah, we've just done that. You outlined what was round. Yeah, we just saw that.
Right, that's about the vulture, because the vultures are only feminine. They do the divine. Immaculate Conception.
You're looking at the sky at the moment as well. But you drew, there's a lady she's another lady sitting on her lap and a child, and then you outlined her clothes, so it looks a bit like a bird.
Right, that's the hidden thing inside, and I didn't come up with that. Somebody else did. So when I seen that, it made too much sense.
Right.
So the Egyptians got the above and below. So you got the snake on the Egyptian head, and then you got the vulture. The vulture does not move, soars through the air with no motion, stillness, it's black. It's closest to the ether, closest to love. Whereas the snake, the cobra, can be in an S shape. That means what? Vibration, waves, making waves.
Right. And they're both holding something the same. There are two things they're holding the same. Now we're back to, forgive me for not being, this is what you told me, Claudio. Forgive me for not being the woman that you wanted me to be.
No,
that's what you told. That's what you. No, that's what you told
No.
me about my mum.
No. Forgive me for not being the loving woman I should have always been.
Oh, okay.
Not that you wanted me to be. That's a cop-out. Forgive me for not being the loving man or woman I should have always been. So in that video, there's a sister who has a landlord that's not very happy with and doesn't treat the tenants very well. So I told her to, when she goes to sleep at night, to do this process and think of him. The next day, when she got back from work, one of the other tenants, friend of hers, said, I don't know what happened to so-and-so, the landlord, but he's a totally different man today. So he felt her. She went to deliver a check to him, the rent. He looked at her, smiled and ripped it up, said, this one's on me. And all she did was say this to him from her heart without even being near him. That's the power of forgiveness. That's the power of baptism. That's the power of using the waters of love. You got to use these words. This is the Ho'oponopono, but people always get step one wrong. They need to say, forgive me for not always being the loving man I should have always been. Always in that state of love. Always. That's the first step. I thank you for your guidance. If your guidance was not loving, I forgive you so that your waters are purified, because if you're delivering a karmic guidance that doesn't feel good, that means it's going to come back to you. So I got to forgive you too. I love you, and then repaint any situation to be beautiful and own that new painting, that new image. Your world changes.
Yeah, at this precise moment, there's a couple on there in the kitchen, and they've ripped up a check or something. So that was quite apt, Claudio, because it was on the
Right,
video.
so that's because I was talking about that girl who went to the guy who was seeing, look, and you see the bottles of booze being poured down the sink.
Well, this is quite a good way, maybe, I don't know, how much more do you want to talk, Claudio, or shall we can end it?
I think that's good. I think that's good, because I'm going to be going to start getting dinner ready.
Yeah. Forgive me, Claudio.
I forgive you. Forgive me, sister.
Yeah. Oh, it's just about finished. I'm going to stop a minute. This is Claudio's channel. It's got the Holy Grail on it now, Claudio. What does it say? I'm going to just see what it says about what you've written about your channel. There's a bit more. Come on, open up. Here we go. Welcome to One Love. It's in us. We are currently on the cusp of revolution and the greatest time to be alive. You have a set of simple tools to achieve Christ consciousness, harm, enlightenment, whatever babble word we want to use. It's called the weighing of the heart. Hope you can join in relearning about the truth of the Spirit within us all, and that one love is upon us. That's how you've described your channel.
Yep.
So anyway, it's Claudio. Say your name. You'll say it better than me.
Claudio.
Yes, Silvaggi.
Claudio Silvaggi, yeah.
Yeah, that's his name. Are you to me? If you put that in, you'll find him. And obviously, we looked through this. He's got an array of videos. Yeah, they're very, very colourful, your covers on your videos.
Thank you.
Anyway, I appreciate you spending that time talking to us. It's been a joy, as always, Claudio.
Yeah, it's awesome, sister. It's always a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. And hopefully Claudio's inspired you a bit more.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Claudio. Much love to you and the channel.
Much love, everyone.